Well, my name is David. I'm Cosmo's granddad, and I've come here today to talk to you a little bit about our family and to answer Cosmo's questions. Cosmo, what questions do you have for me?
Where were your two parents from?
Where are my two parents? My mother was born in England, and she was a dancer, and my father was born in a place called Hungary, which is quite far away, and he grew up on a little farm with his brothers. Long time ago in Hungary. He came from a very poor family, and in fact there were three brothers together. They had so little money they all had to sleep in one bed together, and that's where he came from. He came from Hungary, and then when he grew up a bit after the First War, the three brothers came to England and they started making films, and that was their business. They made films for the cinema, and maybe, well, these films are very old now, but sometime when you grow up, you might see some of these films on the television. There's one called The Thief of Baghdad. There's another called Jungle Book you may have heard of. That's what they did, movies. And I might just show you very quickly. This is a picture of my grandparents. These were my father's parents. You can see what old-fashioned pictures they are. And I can actually show you here. I bought a couple of pictures to show you here. When my father made Jungle Book, here's my father, and he's directing a famous actor called Sabu. You probably haven't heard of him, but his time Sabu was a very famous actor, and I knew him. And when I was a little boy, when they were making that Jungle Book, he used to come and give me different animals as pets. And the first animal he gave me was a big monkey, which we kept, and it lived in our garden, but he wasn't very happy. Then he gave us some big black birds, and finally he gave me a pet called a jaguar. Do you know what a jaguar is?
Oh my god, that's so dangerous.
Yes, well this was a small jaguar to start with. It looked like not much more than a very big cat. But of course, once we started feeding it, it became bigger and bigger, and by the time it got to this big, it tore up all the furniture in our house, and he had to be sent off to the zoo, and that's where he lived. There was something called the Second World War, and I was born by then. We lived here in England, but when the war started, we moved to a place called California, to Hollywood. And after that, our house, which was here, it's lucky we did move, because a bomb fell on the house we lived in, and so if we hadn't moved, that would have been very bad luck for all of us. But we went to California, and we lived there. Have any of you been to America? You have. I bet you all went there by airplane, didn't you? Did you all go there by plane?
Yeah.
Well, when I went there, as a little boy, to Los Angeles, we used to go, it was very difficult to go by plane then. We used to go on a ship 6 days from England to New York, and then we used to go 3 days on the train, 3 days and 3 nights on a train without getting off from New York to Los Angeles. And then when we came back to England, or to Europe after the war, we used to start off in Los Angeles, and we used to go to the port in Los Angeles, and my mother put her car on the boat. We used to get on this boat, and it used to take 30 days, 1 month, to travel there, back here. And now you can do it in 1 day, just by plane.
David, I have a question. What did you do when you left school, and did you come back to England, and what jobs did you start to do?
When I left school, I came here to go to university, and I went to Oxford. And when I left Oxford, I went into the theatre business. And when I couldn't make a living in the theatre, I came into the film business, which was very much my family business, as you gathered. And I once worked on a film. The first film I worked on, really, which is, I'm sure, one day all these boys and girls will be aware of, was a film called Lord of the Flies, the famous William Golding book. I worked on that, and then I've worked all my life in the movie business, like my father and my uncles.
Have your children gone into the movie business, and
Yes.
what happened to London films?
Well, my son is in the movie business. I've bought a few little pictures. My son is in the movie business, and he's worked on a lot of films now. This little picture, by the way, for all of you who don't know, this is Cosmo's mom. There's a little girl. So I thought I'd bring this and show it to you.
She used to have a cat.
That's her cat, you see. That's Cosmo's mom.